All right, so on your Clegg, the very first steps that you want to do is open your app, which you can see it open here, and then walk through the settings. And how you would get to the settings menu is you can begin either one of these testings. The quick test is a little bit easier to work with. So just go ahead and click on the quick test. It'll bring you to an interface, and you want to click on the three dots in the top right, or the ellipses. When you click on those three dots, the first thing that you want to do is go through the menu items here. You can see that in the menu items you can get to the manual, so that's already inside there. The manual will take you to a website where you can download the manual or preview it. You can also go through here and go into make sure that you're selected your device and you've connected to the correct device. Now the tablet will have this pre-installed, and the tablet will already be connected to your Clegg hammer. What you want to pay attention to here is in the app settings. You can go through and change the settings. Now, after you've connected to to the Clegg hammer, you will have a few extra settings in here. Number one is what unit do you want to measure in? We measure everything in CIV, or Clegg impact value. You can go through this setting here, and you can see that you can also measure in Gs, MPAs, CBRs, but it will take everything in CIV, and then it will convert to all of the other formats. Now, the other thing that you can do here is what's called the minimum threshold. And what this is when you move your Clegg and you drop it on a new site, by dropping it, it will always take a measurement. You can tell the Clegg to ignore those drops unless they reach a certain minimum CIV value. All right, so if we want to ignore all drops below, let's say a 10 CIV, we can go ahead and move it so that any drop that's going to register on the app has to measure at least 10. It will ignore all drops below 10, which could be just the rattling around and the moving of the Clegg and so on. Now down here in the display results, you can actually look at the peak or the average. For this one, you want to leave it on the peak. So go ahead and make sure it's set on the peak. And going down a little bit farther, we want to make sure that yes, our GPS is enabled. The new threshold is on the smallest you can go. So currently that's 5 meters. And ultimately, there is the verification submission, and you want to leave that enabled as well. Now, if it's your first time out and you're connected to your Clegg, you're going to have a couple other items here that are really important. That's going to tell you, or it's going to allow you to choose the north or southern hemisphere, as well as the eastern or western hemisphere as well. Make sure that depending on where your country is located, or you are located at that particular time if you're traveling, that you do pick the right hemisphere for your tablet that's with your Clegg to measure the GPS accurately. If those settings are off, your tablet will not take readings accurately. So just make sure to choose the correct hemisphere settings.